Hey everybody, it's your boy Sam, aka the Train Mother Main. My tonies and gonies and blownies and donies. It's been about 3 weeks, not a month, but 3 to 4 weeks since the last layout update video. Been putting in some time, try to get in, half hour here, hour there, and a lot of progress once again has been made. I feel like I say that in every video, but that's why I space out the videos as much as I do. I could do slow-mos and how-tos and time lapses, but I just put in some work. When I think I'm at another good stage, I just decide to make the video. So like I said, I'll do at least guaranteed one update a month and more if necessary. So again, look forward to at least one video every calendar month. And like today, it's only been 2 or 3 weeks, and we're gonna jump into a new update. So, take a step back. I know these lights are bright, I'm sorry. I'll try and color correct it. But I got my double lights. Got the bendy arm there, so when I'm working, shines down. Got my tall light, then another bendy light. So with the overhead light, it's very, very, very well lit for working, viewing, running, all that good stuff over here. So thank you to Mrs. Train Womaine for the Christmas gifts. Backdrop, fascia, you already know, are all installed and good to go. All the kinks are worked out. I believe in the last update we just had some back foam glued down for the rear mountain scheme. As you can see, I think I told you, I cut portals on the back of every piece of wood so I can reach in to the area where, where this portal meets this portal, and then all the way along the back. So I can get my arm into any spot where a train may derail. I do have my mountains butted up, so I'm going to take my Dremel and cut this out to make it a little taller, but I did have a derailment in this corner. Here, let me get out of here, it's a little tight. I had a derailment, it was right about in here somewhere, because one of the tunnel portals aren't lined up. A box car clipped it and derailed into there. When I heard it, I stopped it. So reaching into this portal here and this portal here, I was able to clear it all out. And for the first time, it validates why I did the portals to begin with. So I've done a ton of foam work. Went and got another 4x8 sheet. So as of right now, there is 4x8 used completely for the base and some of the mountains. And then I'm about a little over halfway through a second 4x8 sheet. So that's been the bulk of what I've been doing. I got my track plan finalized as well. So the track is glued to here and to here. I have them marked so I know where I glued. So this is glued to here. These will be the main lines coming along. And then it is also glued down up to here. I haven't decided where my portals will come out over here. This is as far as I've gotten on this side. I'm thinking right about there. Make it a very non-aggressive turn. I don't have my mind going into this side, so depending on how far forward I want it, I'm primarily focused on this side right now as far as getting the foam in. Back to the track plan. I had my crossover, used to be right here as the double cross, so they were both connecting. I decided to move crossover to here, and then I'm gonna have my wood scene pulp over here, so there'll be a switch going off. This isn't permanent yet. That'll be a little branch line, or and then the same thing for the mine. I'm thinking the mine lead's gonna come back to about here and then work its way in. So I'll have the mine over here. I'm thinking about putting just a tiny little town, couple houses, little gas station, whatnot, then have the service road go into this little mountain. So I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but so I've got a lot of the mountain work in over here. It's gonna be higher, 4 stacks here, then in some other spots 3 over here. We'll go a little bit higher on this spot. Then I also decided to have a mountain divider in the middle. So this has all been glued last night and today. I staggered it just ever so much so I can come in here and shave it. Nice little cliff side, have a nice face and all that. Maybe even a little waterfall. I considered putting a little waterfall and then a river and a bridge scene right here. I'm not too sure yet. But this is gonna divide the layout in half as far as scenes. So as you can see, it'll taper somewhat, whatever, into the mine, district, and then taper a little bit less into the wood area. So I haven't begun carving that yet. Done some minimal carving over here. I know on camera it doesn't look that good, but imagine some more fine-tuned shaving, seal it all, and then paint it, trees and all that. It's gonna look awesome. Also got my corners somewhat worked in place. So I'm thinking the lumber mill is gonna be over here. We're gonna have a couple buildings, the little factory, the saws, a bunch of stacks of wood, a few service tracks. This is just a brief mock-up. I was just kind of tinkering this afternoon, waiting for glue to dry, pun intended. Then I started working in the tunnel portals. Obviously it's wider. That won't be the final positions, but it's gonna butt out over there. So again, I'll taper all this back up, have the nice hillside be flush. And then once I get the final workings of this done, I'm gonna take another piece and put another front fascia on it just so it tapers down to flat. I might do that over here as well. As the tunnel comes in, it's gonna, you know, taper down, like I said, to flat. So a lot of just foam work. I haven't started grading it out or anything yet, but like I said, I've been primarily focused on this side as far as just getting it in place, which is fine. You know, you need to get it situated before you start going to town. I knew this was gonna look like this somehow, some way, so I got a little ahead of myself, which was fine. You know, like I said, it's 3 over here, 4 over here. I'm gonna do probably one more big center layer up here so it tapers from a crown point here in the center, not against the backdrop, and taper it down. And then again, it'll come up maybe one more notch over here and taper down, maybe throw in just a little section right here. So it's not gonna be all even the same height, which I like as well. And then, you know, this is the center of the table. I have already described, if I ever go to move, I was gonna break it into 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm actually going to do is secure sections 1 and 2 together on the base and underneath as sturdy as humanely possible, including along the backdrop. So this will be one big piece, and then do the same thing over here, under here, and along the backdrop break. So these will both be one big piece. This will be one big piece. It's 3 feet wide at its peak over here, which can fit up the stairwell. So secure it so they don't pull apart when they're lifted up. And then it'll just literally, if I ever need to move, just cut it in half, and it'll take me, you know, one evening's work to, you know, re-seal and paint and do all that there. So that'll be big time. As you can see, it's not centered as far as the mountain. I want to make this side more steep and cliffy. This side I want to taper down more gradually. With the logging wood camp over here, I want to have a lot of log piles. I want to have a little access branch line, and I'm actually have a logging scene on here. You know, there's going to be trees and then a clear cut and all that good stuff. So again, a lot more focus on this side as far as getting the foam down, and then I have been slowly working my way this way. So like I said, the majority of the track's glued. Got the main lines 100% decided. It's very simple, hidden. What you see in the front is what you get. I didn't want a point to point, and I didn't want just a big open loop table either, so this is the best of both worlds. I'm very thrilled, and honestly, not to toot my own horn, it is what it is. Impressed and happy with my skills on this layout versus the last layout, which obviously you can go see beginning to end on this channel. And I just want it to be neat, clean, flush, planned, all that good stuff. One of my next big challenges, I'm going to build a little not a workstation, I'm going to build a little platform that I'll secure right here for my DCC controller. So I'll have my power run into the track right here, and it's going to be just like a little nice, I'm probably going to varnish it, stain it, nice little wooden shelf for the DCC controller. And then as well as, I got to get my switches in place permanently of where they're going to go before, but then drill through, bring all the wires down. So there's going to be my power pack, like I said, then I'm going to do a smaller horizontal version for all my switch turnouts. All the Pico switches I got for the Industries are going to be hand thrown, such as these. I'm going to do all these by hand. Maybe in the future I'll install motors, but I doubt it. But for my mainline turnouts and crossovers, like I said, I want to give them power. We'll go from there. So wow, this 10 minutes went by really quick. I guess it didn't seem like there was much to discuss, but obviously there was more. So I believe, I mean, I definitely know I have enough foam left to finish my escapade as far as the terrain. Here and there I might add a little, some flat level. I'm not sure if the tunnels are going to come out here, which I believe they will, but then this leaves this space open. I might just flatten it, because if I ever expand, I decided I'm going to have the first expansion, which will probably be a table this size, 3 foot by 18 inches deep. Have 2 of those come off this way, so if I leave this nice and open, I can have the new branch line, come off down that way. Versus over here with the tunnel, I'd probably have to get in there and make a portal coming out. So this way ahead in the future, I'm just saying. So once again, I'm going to get all my foam done, then start carving it. Once it's almost carved, I'll start assessing my industry sections. I won't permanently glue them down or anything until all the foam carving's done. But that's honestly not too far off in the future. So big thing now too, I got to drill one more portal over here, and then depending on how far this comes out, one over there. But if I could just do right here and it's going to come out to there, I don't need to. Get the rest of this foam worked in. Get all the, like I said, little rises and curves, and maybe put another here, there, whatever. And then I can actually start getting down to it. So, and again, I'm just, you can kind of see the scenes, shave it all down and do some nice rolling, blah, blah, blah. Again, over here, I might just have the little service road, come wherever these buildings are going to be. I haven't decided 100% yet. Then the little road kind of come off the table. Shave all this down nice and steeper cliffs, maybe rolling into a cliff. I'm thinking, like a couple bridges right here. I don't know, we'll see. And then this side a little more steep, have the service road come out of a little portal here up to the mine scene, and go from there. So for a lot of the hidden foam work that I was never going to actually need to carve or see, I used a lot of my old florist foam. I was using florist foam on the old layout, but hot glue melts it, and a lot of the paints that I want to use are caustic and will eat away at that over time upon application too. So behind what you see, there's actually a lot of this. I have a ton of it. It's never going to see paint or anything, so I figured for structural integrity, why not get rid of it, because it's just sitting there. And everything else is coming along nicely, so I guess that's kind of it for now. Besides, so obviously carving this, I've been using an X-Acto knife, sandpaper, my Dremel, my multi-tool. I got a lot of my workbench tools over here. This big saw knife, or this big, here, let me take it out. Compass saws come in handy, especially for cutting the big blocks, getting into tight spaces. So especially on these corners, saw, and then I can get in there with the actual hand tools and do stuff. So just, my Dremel and all that good stuff. So I don't know. I feel like this video is kind of all over the place, but I wanted to showcase a little bit of everything. And I feel like I'm in a good spot right now with everything. So again, any tips and tricks you might have. If you don't like things, tell me. If you like things, tell me. Tips and tricks, Tony Hawk style. Anything you see I could be doing better, please let me know. And like I said, at least one video a month, or as needed, maybe every 2 to 3 weeks. Please subscribe. I'm in a bunch of HO, this is N scale, but I'm in a bunch of HO groups on Facebook. They've been receptive to my layout as well, being a different scale, just because I use a lot of ideas I see from them, as well as hopefully they can from me. So scale is one thing, but it's all, once you get into micro Z gauge or S or O, it's a little different. But I think HO and N are similar enough where we can all collaborate. So join some groups, share it up. I appreciate everything. And I guess we'll end it for now. So I'll be back in a couple more weeks. Hopefully my next goal probably is get the foam's almost done, 80%, get the rest of the foam done. Maybe start some minimal carving, and we'll go from there. So appreciate everything. Tips and tricks, Tony Hawk style. Comment, share, subscribe. If you want me to check out your channel, let me know. Thank you guys. It's the Train Main. Peace out.